Welcome back. In today's tutorial we're going to be doing Adonis Creed 3, which is out of the cinemas this March. First things first, usual equipment, eraser, a couple of pencils and a ruler, and we can get started. Let's begin. So for today's video, to make sure we can fit everything on, we're going to be doing it in landscape mode. We're going to draw a dot in the middle of the paper to start with, and a circle. So I'm going to draw a circle to begin with. First things first, 3 vertical lines. Vertical line down, the middle and the edges. That one's 4 centimeters, that one's less. Draw a line across from the middle of the circle to divide it in half. Then we're just going to draw in 3 eyes, very faintly, just roughly putting the shapes in. A line a little bit higher up at the bottom of the circle for the bottom of the nose, as we usually do. Then the lips will go at the bottom of the circle, but he's got a moustache, so I'm just going to roughly draw that in. Then draw a big circle for the lips, and then underneath that, the chin's roughly about here, and curve that up towards the guidelines. And then I'll just do another line for the bottom of the chin for his beard. He's got ears round about here, a bit further back from the head, from the eyes. He's got angry eyebrows looking up, and then corners going up towards the forehead, and a big round, almost afro, but it's not really an afro, it's just the back of his head. Roughly draw that in, big half circle. He's got big shoulders, trapezius, and then big muscular arms. So just roughly drawing the guideline in, and then we can add the details in. So he's got a shoulder, comes in right about here, curve that out, again in line with the top of the nose, and again it curves out here. That's mostly seen by shadows. Comes down across here, and then his pectorals. He's got his inclined chest, and then the separation in the middle. And just finish that line off there. And that's a rough outline of what we're going to be filling in today. Okay, so now we've got Adonis Creed. We've got the rough draft. Now we can start filling in some details. So we're going to make a start on the eyes. So as you can see, we've got 3 eyes, equal distances apart, and now we can put in the actual eyes we're going to be using. So his eyes are relatively big, he's looking up. As you can see, the stance he's in is in his boxing ring, sat on his stool, but looks at it, or in training camp. But he's leaning forward, so he's got like his hands on his knees. So the eye I want to be doing up, around, down. Comes down like this. That comes around. So that's the shape we're going for. So it'll be the same on this side. So I'm going to line that to there. His eye goes up and back, like his eyelid. Teared up. It's going to come around to around here. There will be his eyes. Here's like the eyelash with the shadow area. I'm just going to thicken them up. It's like an eyelid shadow area. want to add in his eyes. So tiny bit up from the bottom, curve round, because he's looking up when it comes in. Nice big irises. Same on this side. Nice and big. Taking up most of the eye. Like that. Now here he's got some textured details we put in for his nose. His eyebrows start around there and there. I want to be closer to his eyes. Here, his eyebrows, right. From here, I'm going to mark a dot right here. This is where his eyebrows come in. Like that. And on this side, eyebrows starting here, further back from his eye. And on this side, we're going to do a dot here. So it's like in line with that. And this is not as curved, but like that curve it. Don't go as far back as that one. There his eyebrows. Now we just need to thicken them up a little bit. So we can just colour them in. Like this, lightly, light shade, whatever. So his eyebrows are relatively thin, certainly thin on the corner part here. And then it gets a little thicker. Then thin again there. Just do that a little bit thicker and then thin. So for now we'll leave it at that. Then above that here we've got creases in his forehead from his facial expression. Same again on this side. Rub the guidelines out. Oh shoot, what's happened here? The pen just broke, no way. It has, I know. Sure, it's just cracked. Oh man. This pencil cost me £8. So on this side, eyebrow comes out further than the eyebrow into here. That's crease, and he's got another crease above that. Goes into the middle. Same again above that. Crease here. That goes all the way. We'll do a broken line and down. That will be his facial expression. Then up from that, we're going to bring his forehead down just by an inch or a centimetre, not an inch. And bring that back. So just draw a line roughly across. Let's see. Right, it wants to be his nose is just slightly out of line, so we're just going to draw lines down from each side of the cuticles? I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, so his nose is round here but not too round, it's relatively flat. Same on this side. And then it curves round on both sides. It's got like a shadow, heavy shadow that you can't really see what type of nose he's got. It's like that. So there's no nostrils to fill in because you can't see that much. Right, so we go his rough nose shape from here, like there, where the shadow is. He's got like shadow on his nose. This is where he's got like some facial dimples. It's like there's like shadow on both sides of his nose. And that comes down like that. So here is where his moustache is. And you want to curve right. Let's see. It comes out to his eye. So yeah. And on the other side, yep, outside of this pupil, all the way down. So again to about here. So you got them little markers. So his moustache curves around. That'll show us some depth to the face because it goes round backwards. So I want to make it look a bit like perspective. It's going backwards around his face. Here, middle part of the tash. Little curve, and then it comes out. Same again on this, and then it goes back, rounded, to go around his face. Like this. Now his lips, he's got a thin lip on the top. So it might be better off if we just draw. So we're going to draw his mouth from the iris straight down there, this one, to there. So it's in line with the middle of the iris, which we can pop in a little pupil. Like so. So here we're just going to do a nice smiley face. Like that, a nice little subtle smile. And then from that, it's darker on the edges. So then from here, bringing it in slightly, we start his lip, and it's going to be nice and narrow. So I want to thicken this line up then, because otherwise it's going to be way off. So let's thicken his smile up, because that can be his interior of his mouth. And here is going to be the lip. So you do like a bird flying. Oh fuck. Pen's bollocked. Man alive. So the lip comes out. So as you can see, that being the interior of his mouth, so it's darker. That being the thin top lip. Wants to be similar shape, so I want to bring that down a bit. Now, I'm probably going to have to leave this pencil because it's broken. It's making things difficult. It's very unfortunate because I like this pen a lot. So that's what you want. Dark, thick line in the middle, slightly curved for a smile. Then the lips coming in slightly. Start it further in, so not at the end on both sides. Get rid of that because I'm going to end up smashing it. Oh, it's done it again. God damn it. Fucking it. And now it's... Oh, now I've got paint coming off on it. Jesus Christ, look. Honestly, things don't go right. What I can do, seeing as my pencil, mechanic pencil, is not sharp. Well, it is sharp, but it's broke. Sharpen this one, and that'll help with the details. Right, so we've got the top lip. Now, bottom lip. Can do a little few cracks. See, that's what I mean. You can end up with thick lines like that when you want. When you're wanting to just do a nice crisp line. And then the lip, I'm saying you're going to draw like that because it wants to be rather fat. And this comes back right at the start of the lip point. So this is coming down. All the way. So like that. Fattest point there, and then it's slowly curving in to the start of the mouth that goes under the moustache. That will do us nicely. From here, right, you've got a thin layer. We'll do a thin layer at the bottom of the lip, like a dimple, and then it's got like shadow for the beard underneath that. And then a little snail trail coming into his beard. And fill in his tash. It's very dark, his moustache, so you can't really see any gaps, but I'm just going to shade it in for now. See, when you're doing hair strokes and stuff like this, is when you want your mechanical pen. So, because it helps with nice thin strokes. Right, so we've roughly got in the moustache. Then here his beard is going to join a couple of dots. This goes under the chin area. So we just draw in the chin. We can then colour in the beard. Thicker here. So then, carry on with the beard. I actually think this looks a little bit like him. Looks a little bit like Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, just going to make his chin a little longer for his beard. And here. And here it's a little bit more bulkier. like that. Alright, so in line with this, put a dot here. Then in line with that on the other side, his face comes up. So just looking at my drawing here, I can tell that this right side seems a bit shorter, not as wide as the left side. So I'm just measuring it, and I can see it's left side's 4.5 centimetres, and so is the right side. So I'm just going to make them both equal distances, and then I'm going to extend these lines further down as well to help me with the chin. So now they're both even. So basically from here, curves out and then in. Like that. This side, again, curves out and then in. Like that. And then you want to be going up diagonal. That can be, we'll rub out some guidelines because they're all over the place in the way. That circle I don't need. From here, basically what's happening is you need to make sure from left side 4.5 centimetres, right? Mark it all the way. So on this side needs to be the exact same 4.5 centimetres. Mark it, draw a line all the way up on both sides. Then we've got the correct width for the face. Here, some creases on his eyes on both sides. Yeah, can do that. Round. They're not on. Rub out the middle one. Not needed. Eyes to nose. That's how far the forehead's going. So the distance from the nose to the eyes is the distance from the eyes to the forehead. That is what we're going with. The ear is in line with the bottom part of the ear, the eye, because it's further back. Draw a line up. Same this side, draw a line up diagonally, slightly. I'm having trouble with this. Right. I want the same shape as that. So both sides to the corner. Keep going up. Here's sideburns fitting. Like that. Then just above creases here. Both, not both, just on this one it's going to curve in now. In line with that crease. This one's going to curve in now. And it's going to come in line with his eyes. So to there. Eye on this side to there. Then you want to curve slightly like that to give it some perspective. And his hair goes, it's got sideburns, so sideburns are here. Goes up square-ish, almost to the same length of his forehead, just a little lower, so there. And on the other side it goes up, again same on this side, goes up. His ear's going to be there. His ears start at the top right here, in line with the top crease, because of the way he's sat. So I'm just going to stick the ears in. Like that. You got some in the middle, you can't really see it. Some shadow across. Again on this side the ear wants to be coming down at the same point. So it's at the bottom, that lining goes out like this. You can see some of the top of the ear. In the middle, heavy shadow. As you can see, that's not in line. So make it in line. And then his hair, right, it's going to come curve in now. His head slightly, so we've got the eyes and nose same distance, and the forehead and the eyes the same distance as that, but the hair is actually going to be higher than that. So make sure you go higher. It's nice and round. So might not fit it all on my page. Like that. So it should, from eyes to forehead, it should go to there, the top of the page, but you want it to go higher than that, so slightly further, just by maybe another centimetre and a half. So you would bring it to about there. And that's his hair. So rub out some more guidelines that we don't need. His body's looking pretty accurate. Rub out this guideline here. Then he's got his big shoulders, well, trapezius, the back muscle comes out midpoint of his ear. So I'm pretty much going to be drawing it exactly where the guidelines are, because it's quite accurate where I put them. So that's helped us a lot. But you just want to make sure they're starting in the midpoint of the ears for his big traps, and then as them come down, they want to be as wide as almost his head. So half his head, they want to be at least as wide as half his head. Mine's a little bit bigger on that side than that one. But that's a rough guide. And then you add in the shoulder muscle, which comes straight off that, curving round. Now here is the shadow point, that's like a shadow, and his shoulder begins. There is his chest, so like his inclined chest, comes all the way down, and then you can see the middle part of his chest because it's pretty ripped, where it separates, and it's shown, and that's all pretty much I can fit on my page. So I'm just going to add in some little finer details on the lip, and then some eyelashes I'm going to do on the eyes, which again, this is what I like to use, get it to stick. Just do some little flicks off on this side. And then so they don't look as feminine, you want to darken up the eyelid. If you do an eyelid underneath it as well, make it look a little bit better. And that is our finished Adonis Creed from the movie Creed. 1, 2 or 3, take your pick. So basically just adding in some finer details, and then you can colour it in or go around it in a black. It's up to you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.